Metagross in the back. Walrus is absolutely loaded. The Haxorus absolutely doesn't want to see Walrus, so we are going for the abate. The opponent shits their pants. They shield it up. We make this Earthquake. Is Shadow Earthquake enough to knock out Metagross? No, it's not. We are going to get farmed down. We are going to need to farm this Metagross down with Swampert. We farm down 1 HP and a Dream Hydro Cannon. Is this going to be enough to knock out Haxorus? Well, you're going to have to watch the video to find out. So, let's get into today's video. Yesterday was the last day of the Master League Premier Classic. So, I was pretty bored and I thought, fuck it, let's try out a Classic Ultra League team in the Master League. We are going with the triple water strat. So, we are going to be leading Shadow Swampert as it's the only thing that resists electric due to its ground typing with Gyarados and Walrein in the back. This is a pretty ABB team. If you don't see Magnezone in the lead, we are going to be safe switching into Gary, hoping to draw it out. And without any further ado, let's get into the battles. And speaking of Magnezone, in game 1, we see Magnezone in the lead. They safe switch into Snorlax, and this is pretty problematic as my entire team does lose to this Snorlax. We sneak a Dragon Tail, so I am going to go for the shield. We shield up the body slam. We are going to go for an Aqua Tail. We are going to need to maintain alignment at all costs, as our Walrus absolutely does not want to see Magnezone. We get to the next Aqua Tail. This Aqua Tail will be enough to knock out unless the opponent does shield. They do shield it up. The opponent does throw a charge move. We would survive this body slam. They are pretty much at back-to-back, so I am going to commit a shield. We will get hit with one more body slam, but that Dragon Tail that has gone through will KO, and we will be left with very minimal farm. We have the Aqua Tail locked and loaded. Aqua Tail will do some nice chip damage to this Magnezone, and we are sitting in an alright spot depending on what the opponent has in the back. We safe switch into Swampert, and here comes the big fat Walrus. They have Waterfall Gary in the back, so alignment was absolutely everything. Gary fires the crunch. We get no debuff. We're going to throw as many Icicle Spheres as possible. First Icicle Sphere doesn't do too much damage, but this second one should be pressuring the final shield. If they do not shield, they are going to be left super low, and this Gyarados is going to have to throw to take us out. This is only an Aqua Tail, but at this minimal HP, it should be almost enough to knock out. We just don't make the Icicle Sphere, but Swampert comes in. We mud shut down. All we've got to do now is get to the back-to-back moves, and this game is going to be absolutely over. First Hydro Cannon will draw the shield from the Magnezone. Second Hydro Cannon will KO high Magnezone by Magnezone, and that is all she wrote. GG's, and thanks for playing. And we're off to a 1-0 start. Moving on into the next battle, we see Gyarados in the lead. You hate to see it. We immediately safe switch into our own Gary, and the opponent is staying in. They are looking to debuff us with a potential crunch. We are not going to shield. The opponent throws the crunch. We do not get the defense drop down. They switch out into a Hippo. This Hippo, with its ground typing, is not going to appreciate these Aqua Tails. First Aqua Tail does a decent chunk of damage, and we already make number 2. This should be forcing a shield from the opponent. The opponent does shield it up and commit to the Ice Fang farm down. I believe most Hippos are running Rock-type Weather Ball and Earth Power, so I am going to come in with Swampert and force the opponent to dump all of their energy. The opponent is throwing a charge move. This should be the Earth Power if that is the moveset they are running. We soak the damage, now switch out aggressively into the Walrus and commit to the Powder Snow farm down. Walrus is now heading energy for whatever they have in the back. The opponent does come in with Excadrill, and guess what, motherfucker? We are not baiting. Does the Excadrill respect the potential Earthquake? They do not get wrecked. Excadrill, Gyarados comes back out, and now this game is absolutely over and the opponent concedes the match. GG's, and thanks for playing. Moving on into the next battle, we lead Shadow Swampert into Metagross. You love to see it. They save switch into Garchomp, so here comes Dragon Tail Gary. We sneak a Dragon Tail. This is just a Sand Tomb. There is no need to shield this up. Sand Tomb does lower our defense, so these next Dragon Tails are going to be doing a lot more damage. We go straight for the crunch. The opponent lets it go. One more Dragon Tail takes them out. And now Gyarados is sitting in a great spot. Back out comes Metagross. We make the crunch. We did not throw the Aqua Tail. We committed, and we get the big damage off. The opponent gets the defense drop and once again concede the match. GG's, and thanks for playing. Off to a very quick 3-0 start. Moving into battle number 4. We lead Shadow Swampert into Machamp. Not a bad matchup. However, due to running an ABB team, we are going to have to look to switch out at some stage. We aren't going to shield this cross chop up. We sneak a mud shot. We are going to overfarm. We are going to fire one Hydro Cannon off, look to draw a shield, and then make a switch out into our Gyarados. The opponent does shield it up. We now switch out into Gary. The opponent does stay in. Build to 7. We are going to have to shield up the potential Rock Slide, hoping we don't get baited. We correctly shield a Rock Slide. The opponent is staying in, so we are going to fire off this Aqua Tail. Aqua Tail will be enough to knock out unless the Machamp wants to burn its final shield. They let it go and come out with an Excadrill. Excadrill is not going to appreciate these Aqua Tails from Gyarados. First Aqua Tail draws the shield. The opponent is going to have to throw. They throw immediately. We are just going to allow Gyarados to go down. Rock Slide takes us out. Ouch, Shadow Gyarados is made of absolute paper. We combo play into Swampert. The opponent decides to sack the Metagross. However, this is not bad because first Hydro Cannon does do 50% of the HP. This second Hydro Cannon is going to be enough to knock out Metagross. I'm now spamming out the Walrus. They come back in to Excadrill. One Rock Slide will not KO. They will make 2. We are going to shield the first one. We are going to commit to the Earthquake. This second Rock Slide will not be enough to knock out. We've already got the Earthquake locked and loaded. We tank the Rock Slide. Earthquake, you already know, is going to absolutely obliterate this little Steel Mole. High Excadrill by Excadrill, and we're off to a 4-0 start. GG's and thanks for playing. Moving on into the 5th battle, we pick up a Dream Lead. Swampert into Excadrill. They save switch into Gyarados. So we are going to mirror with our own Gary. Even if the opponent is willing to go down shields, we know that Walrus can threaten that Excadrill with an Earthquake. They actually go for the strangest bait I've ever seen with an Aqua Tail. We are not shielding shit. We go straight for the Crunch. Crunch lands, we get the defense drop. We manage to farm down and we are sitting in a fantastic spot. They come in with Togekiss and we have the absolute perfect alignment. Aqua Tail does a nice bit of chip damage. They commit to the Charm Down, Farm Down, High Togekiss, meet the Walrus, and this game is over. GG's and thanks for playing. You can see with the first set, we went on a nice, impressive 5-0, and we've got a few bonus battles for you. Moving on into bonus battle number 1. We lead Shadow Swampert into Snorlax. This is not great as Snorlax does outbulk our entire team. We are going to spam out a Hydro Cannon. At some stage, we are going to have to look to switch out into our Gary. We are going to fire off a second Hydro Cannon, hoping to draw a shield from the Snorlax, but this Snorlax is so thick. They do not shield. They are firing off a charge move. We are going to tank the Body Slam and now switch out into Gary. The opponent is staying in, firing off a charge move. We aren't going to shield shit in case they've got a Magnezone in the back. Body Slam does some nice chip damage, and they come in to Metagross. A bit of a questionable play from the opponent. We are going straight for the Crunch. Crunch lands for big damage. The opponent is going to outpace us to a Meteor Mash. I am going to choose to shield this up and commit to the Dragon Tail Farm Down as Metagross is no response for Gyarados. We get the Dragon Tail Farm Down and we are absolutely loaded. I imagine the Snorlax will come back out. I am just going to throw an Aqua Tail at it, and then I should have a move to throw at whatever they have in the back. We go for the Aqua Tail. That gets rid of Snorlax. What is in the back? In the back is a Garchomp. We are going to fire off this Crunch. Crunch should be drawing a shield, and once again, Walrus is going to go to absolute town, and the opponent concedes the match. GG's and thanks for playing. Moving on into the next battle, we lead Shadow Swampert into another Machamp. So a fairly neutral matchup, but one we are going to look to switch out of eventually. The opponent is also going for the extra. We are going to tank this first cross chop. We are going to fire off a Hydro Cannon. The opponent actually switches out into Snorlax, so we are going to fire the Hydro Cannon at the Snorlax to hope to maintain alignment. That does a nice bit of chip damage, and we switch out into Gyarados. We are going to go straight for the Crunch, hoping for the defense drop or a shield. Let's see what the opponent does choose to do. They do shield it up. We get the defense drop and we sneak a Dragon Tail. We are going to shield up one Body Slam. Snorlax is absolutely loaded, so we are going to have to tank the next one, but we should be able to Dragon Tail farm it down after they've dumped their energy. You can see our Gyarados is getting deep into the red. Let's see what the opponent wants to come in with. They come back in to Machamp. We fire off this first Aqua Tail. This will not be enough to KO. The second Aqua Tail should be pressuring a shield unless the opponent is just willing to sack the Machamp. Aqua Tail draws the shield. We're going to combo play into Swampert. This Hydro Cannon will be getting rid of the Machamp. We absolutely don't want Walrus onto Machamp, and in the back is a Mamoswine. Swampert survives the Powder Snows, and this Hydro Cannon is going to do huge damage to the Mamoswine. The opponent is looking absolutely fucked. We show the Walrus, and this game is absolutely over. GG's, and thanks for playing. Moving on to the final battle of the video, we see Haxorus in the lead. Swampert doesn't particularly like this matchup. Due to the Mono Dragon typing, they are going to resist Hydro Cannon. We are going to tank one move. They go for the Night Slash. That did quite a lot of damage. We bank a boatload of energy, switch out into Gyarados, and here comes Magnezone. Although this is how the team is supposed to work, we are pretty low on Swampert. The Aqua Tail does hardly anything. The opponent is going to have to Wild Charge to take us out. Obviously, we're just going to allow Gyarados to go down. We are going to come back in with Swampert, and because we're so low on HP, we are going to dump a Hydro Cannon after one Mud Shot. This will be taking out the Magnezone, and it is going to be pretty much down to Walrein to clutch out this game. We are going to fire Hydro Cannon at this Haxorus. Hydro Cannon draws the shield. We now save switch into Walrein, and we are sitting in a really rough spot. I have two shields, so I'm going to shield it up in case they go for a Dragon Claw. It is just a Night Slash, so I am going to call the Night Slash once again on the second move, and luckily for us, it is just a Night Slash. They now save switch into Metagross, and we are absolutely loaded. We are going for a risky bait. Does the opponent have big enough balls to call it? They do not. We draw the shield. We make the Shadow Earthquake. Is this going to be enough with non-stab to take out Metagross? No, it isn't, but it gets him deep into the red. We've still got a shield. We are going to look to commit to the Mud Shot farm down. The farm down is perfect. We have the Hydro Cannon locked and loaded. Is resisted Hydro Cannon enough to knock out? Yes, it is. And 1 HP and a dream. Shadow Swampert cleans up that battle. So, those were the battles featuring a triple water, triple shadow team in the Master League Premier Classic. We did go 5-0. Then we went 3-2 and another 3-2. So overall, 11-4 with the team, but obviously one of our losses we didn't even get to play. So not a bad team, despite both Swampert and Walrein having really low stat products. This was a really fun team. Next time Master League Premier Classic does come round, if you want to run something off meta, I've not seen anybody else run triple water, give it a try, because it does have great coverage on the meta. If you like your battles featured on the channel, link to the battle submission form is down below. If you're enjoying the content, smash that like button. If you're new, consider subscribing, and I will see you all in the next one.